In this video I will show you how to do this animation. These kind of animations are used in almost all of the videos uploaded by AevyTV. So let's get started. So this is our reference. Let's take a look at it first. So if you take a look at this animation, there are two characters. Basically both these characters are in shapes. There's a circle, rectangle, a square and rectangle, and there is some animation going on in the background. So first of all, we'll need to create these two characters in After Effects, and then we can animate it later. So for that, we'll come into After Effects, create a new composition. 1920 by 1080 is fine, 24 fps is fine. So click start. Let's just rename it as our main comp. For these rectangles, you can select this rectangle tool, create a rectangle, and you just need to change these values. Okay, we don't need a stroke, so click on the stroke and just select as not needed. We need a fill, so let's select here. We'll need a, if you look here, this is kind of a gradient is there in the reference, so we'll need a gradient fill, something like this, a linear gradient. Click on OK. Now if you click on here, you can change the color of the gradient. So let's bring up the reference again. Let's just pull out this reference somewhere here on the side so that we can just pick the colors from here. You just clip it here, and if you come here and go to the fill, for this you can just use a drop shadow. First select here, use a drop shadow, and you can select this color, light pinkish color, and then here is the eyedropper. Sorry, not the drop shadow, this is the eyedropper, and select this reddish color, and in between there is something, delete it, and then add another one, add something here, and you can just play with this to make the gradient visible here. Okay, with only two, I think one is enough. It looks a bit light. I think we can add a bit more darker tone here. And just click on OK. Now for the second shape, this one, you can just select this first layer and Control D to copy. Now press P to bring out the position, and you can just drag it like this. Let's position the first one also properly onto the screen around here. The first one would be a bit shorter, so you can just make it shorter also a little bit, and the second one will be a bit taller. You can drag the second one and just make it a bit taller slightly. Yeah. Now for the second one, this one, we need to change the colors here. So we'll go to fill again. Let's just delete the middle one first so that it doesn't disturb us later. Select this, use the eyedropper tool, select this color. Now select this, use the eyedropper tool, and select a darker color, and you can add a midpoint and just drag it to have a quick gradient. Okay, looks fine. Now that both these shapes are created, we need to create this circle and this square. Okay, let's just rename them so that we are not confused later. Okay, now we need to create this circle. So for that, you can just hold this thing, this rectangle tool, and you can select this ellipse tool, and to create a perfect circle you can just hold shift and create it like this. Yeah, now we'll use our normal selection tool to adjust it properly, and then use the fill. We'll not use the linear gradient here, we'll use a radial gradient in this one, and we can again use our eyedropper and all to select the colors. So you can select the color from here only. For the inner part of the circle, we can select the lighter color. From the outer part, you can select a darker color. It looks fine. Let me just adjust it a bit. It looks fine to me. Let's place it here. Now for the head of the guy, We'll select the rectangle tool again, and for a perfect square you just hold shift on the keyboard and drag it like this. Yeah, and we need to just change the colors. Okay, now the basic shapes are created. Okay, we can rename them. Okay, I think the square is a bit too big, so I'll just decrease the size. Yeah, looks fine now. 96 is a bit too small, I think. Give it 98. Okay, so we've created the body of both of them and the head of both of them. Now one more thing you'll see here is these eyes. So these eyes are basically one black circle and then a small dot. So we're gonna create them. We don't need this one for now. I'll just hide it. I'll create a white eye here and here. So for that we'll select the ellipse tool again. First select this and go to solid color, click OK, and then change the fill to white. Stroke is not needed. Now zoom in as much as possible. Now just press shift and just draw a small white circle for the eye. Maybe we need a little bit bigger, so this much should be fine. Yeah, this much looks fine to me. And we need another circle with the fill black. Select outside shape layer, and then now we can just drag it up black as a different shape layer. We want to keep this separated so that we can animate them individually if needed. Okay, let me just take a look at the reference on how the eyes are positioned. So okay, that was the issue, right? It was white inside black. Let me change the colors now. Okay, yeah, this looks much better. You can keep it like this. Okay, let's just rename the things. It will be eye black, then pupil. So now I can use the same eye for this character as well. I'll select both of them and press Ctrl D to copy both. And if I bring out position, I can drag both of them here. It looks fine. Maybe just for the pupil here, I need to bring it a bit on this side. Yeah, this looks much better. Now let me just pre-compose this eye and this eye separately. So select these two, the pupil and the eye, and right click and pre-compose as girl eye. This and pre-compose as my eye. Okay, now we've created everything for the characters. Background we can do it later. Let's just look at the animation first. How the animation is done. So the animation starts with them a bit far away and then they come closer. Okay, so this zoom in, we can worry about this later. Let's just look at the character animation first. They come close and about here, almost 2 seconds in, there's a slight pause and then they come close like this. Now we need to pre-compose all of this and all of this together, like all the elements of the girl and the elements of the boy separately. So this will be the girl's eye, this will be the girl's head, and this will be the girl's body. Just right click, pre-compose as girl. Here, right click, pre-compose as boy. Also, I've kept the timeline 4 seconds, the composition timeline. You can change the settings from here, composition settings. You keep the duration as 4 seconds. And now we can start the animation. So animation starts from here. Let's animate the girl first. Click P on the keyboard to bring this position. Click here to bring the keyframe. And then around here is the 1 second frame. Around here. They come close. Same with this. Press P to bring out the position for the male character. Add a keyframe here, maybe a keyframe here, and this keyframe for the male. Bring him closer as well. So it's a bit slow. and then till here it should be like this. I think the male is a bit too tall, so let's make him short a bit. Since the Y value here is 563, I need to change the Y value everywhere, in all the keyframes, I mean 563, so that it doesn't come down. Okay, this should be good. Okay, the animation doesn't look smooth now, so we'll just select all the keyframes, press F9 on the keyboard to easy ease them. Yeah, looks much better. Maybe here we can just bring it a bit closer. Okay, this looks much better. Let's look at the reference again. When they are coming close, you'll notice that this head and this head, they rotate a bit towards each other, and the eyes also, they rotate along with the head and they're looking at each other. See? So yeah, I need to do that now. So when it comes from here to here, we need to rotate both the heads. So to animate the heads, we need to go inside both these compositions. So let's go inside the girl composition, and we need to rotate the entire head. So in order to rotate the entire head, we need to pre-compose this head and the eye together. Let's just right click, pre-compose, girl head composition. Now to rotate it, we need to rotate it from the center, right, from here. So first we need to bring this thing, to select this anchor point tool, and then bring this anchor point to the center here. And now we can select this head composition and bring out the rotation. Click a keyframe here, go to the first keyframe, add a keyframe here. Maybe you can rotate it a bit slightly like this, 4 degree, and then -2. Let's see if this works or not. Let's easy ease them. Okay, so it seems fine to me. Let's do the same with the boy's head. Let's go inside. We need to pre-compose this also, the head and the eye. Right click, pre-compose. Then we need to do the same thing with this one as well. We need to bring this thing to the center, the anchor point. Select this, bring out the rotation by pressing R on the keyboard. Add the keyframe here, go to the beginning, add a keyframe here. I need to just decrease the angle a bit. -6 should be fine. Let's select the keyframes and press F9. Let's see the main comp. Maybe here you can rotate both the heads a bit more, maybe -8, and then the girl's head also slightly -4 maybe. Let's see now. The girl's head can be rotated a bit more. Yeah, looks fine to me. Yeah, this one seems fine. When you can bring it closer. Yeah, this much. I'm rotating the girl's head a bit more. This much, yeah, this much looks fine. Let's just look at the reference ones and see if we did a good job. Okay, one more thing. It comes from here to here. You'll see the eye, this eye also moves from up to down. So I need to do that also for the male character. So here, let's just go inside this. I need to select this eye, bring out the position, select this, go to the beginning, add another keyframe, make it a bit to the top maybe, here and here. We can bring it to the position. Select the keyframe, make it easy. Now the eye is also animated a bit. Now if we go to the main comp, everything will come together properly. Yeah, looks good. Now the last thing is, you'll see that when they come closer, their eyes close. We need to do something to make it close like this. The eye animation, the closing of the eyes should start from here. So let's go inside here, and inside the head, this is the eye, right? So in order to close it, we'll just use a ellipse tool, draw a circle like this so that it covers the eye like this. Maybe change the position, use the selection tool and change the position like this, so then it closes. You can only see the bottom, a little bit of this. Okay, let's start the animation of this thing from here. Use the position keyframe. Okay, let's see where we need to go. Till here, maybe close it here. Yeah, around here. So here, add another keyframe. Now go to this keyframe and bring it above, around here, so that the animation starts and then covers it like this. You can just easy ease the keyframes so they're smooth. In order to hide this eye with the help of this, we'll need to come here and just hit on this toggle switches and modes. You'll find this track matte thing. So here, just use this peak whip tool and just point it to this shape layer. Okay, this is the reverse thing. It's doing the reverse thing, so we can just click here, click to invert the matte. Yeah, then it will do this thing. It will use the shape layer to show the eye. Now if I see the main layer, you'll get the idea of what's happening. And you can do the same thing with this eye as well. Now that the animation is done, let's look at it. Yeah, you can see that everything is animating properly, even the eyes are getting closed. And I think the character animation is almost done now. Yeah, the character animation is done. Now you'll just see some lines, this kind of lines coming up, different strokes of lines coming up. Yeah, when they come and kiss each other here. So we need to animate the lines now. We can do that. Yeah, from here you can go inside this, and now we can start creating some lines. So for that we can just use the pen tool. Just select here in the composition, and you can start adding some lines. You can make some curved lines as well. Well, not in the fill, just click here, just click on none, so no fill is needed. We'll add the stroke, we'll add a yellow stroke, click on OK, and the size will be, yeah, around 8 pixels would be fine. 7 pixels would be fine. And you can start adding some lines now. Once we draw the lines using the pen tool, we can start animating them. To animate the lines, what we'll do is we'll come here and just open this up, and here on the play button beside the add, we'll select trim paths. This will bring up this trim path. Just expand this more, and then from where we want those animations to start, from here we'll add a keyframe here in this end thing, and then go a few frames forward where we want the animation to end, and add another keyframe. Now in the first keyframe, we'll just bring this to 0. So this will do the animation like this. Let's select the keyframes and press F9 to make it smooth. And we are going to do the same thing with all the shape layers. Once you animate all the lines, you'll see this thing. animating like this. So when the eyes close, you just do this. And we're going to do the same thing with the boy's head as well. Just go inside the boy's composition, and above everything you're going to use the same pen tool and just start creating some lines. Unselect everything here and just select that composition and then start creating the lines. Once you create one line, just unselect and then create another. Now once you animate all the lines here, if you go to the main composition and start from the beginning, you'll see all the lines coming up just like our reference. Okay, the main character animations are done. Now we need to do the background, this reveal kind of a thing. And then after that, the reveal goes down, some line animations come up in the background. Okay, let's do that. So for the background, you'll see this color. Let's take out the reference only. See this color. So for that, in our main composition only, we'll right click and create a new solid. We can use this color. Just use the eyedropper tool and just keep it in the below everything. Let's rename it as background. Here you'll see that the background reveals from this black background. So we need to add a black solid as well by right clicking. Let's change the color to completely black solid one. We'll add it above this here. In order to make the reveal like this, we'll need to use an effect from here known as radial wipe. Just drag this here to the black solid, and before you start anything, we'll use the anchor tool to take this anchor point of the radial wipe to here, like outside the screen, so that this is the radius and the radial wipe happens like this. So we can bring it around here, maybe outside the screen. And since the animation starts, let me see, from the beginning only, and it ends around here. So from here to here, let's go to the black solid, select this radial wipe. Let's see the transition, how it does. Okay, we'll need to keep it at an angle like this. Let's keep it 48 and let's create another solid. Let's just copy this, Ctrl D, and change it to counterclockwise for the second one. So both these solids, they cover half, this half and this half. So we'll start the transition completion keyframe from here, and then we'll go a few frames forward and you'll increase it to here. Maybe like this is fine. 53 is fine. You just press U, you can bring out the keyframes. From here to here is fine. Let's look at the second solid. To increase this as well, something like this. Yeah, it looks fine. Now we'll just select the keyframes, press F9, easy ease. Here also press U to bring out the keyframes, select them, and F9 to easy ease. Okay, this looks quite good. Now there is a text also in the background. If you see, pair bonding kind of a thing. Let's keep the text here. Just bring out the type tool, type PIR. Use any font that you like. Just position it properly. And this is the font I'm using, Script Empty Bold. Maybe I'll increase the size also a bit. And it should go around here and below everything, but above the background. Looks good. Maybe just position it properly like this. Yeah, I can maybe play with the timing and all, but I'll just keep it like this. Now around here this things closes again, this curtain, this closes again. So go to this black solids, and around here it should close again. So we'll just add some keyframes for a transition completion, and go few frames forward around here, and we'll just see what the first keyframe values are. So it is 48 and 48. So here at the end also it should be 48 and 48. So it closes nicely, similar to how it opened. Maybe here you can just select the keyframes and go here to smoothen it out a bit, like slow it down towards the end a little bit and increase the pacing like this. Let's check out the keyframe a bit more. Maybe dragged it a bit too much. And now see the animation. Okay, everything is almost done. After the curtain closes, you'll see this kind of lines coming up and this lines glowing. So let's do that now. Okay, for these lines that come in the background, this kind of lines, I have downloaded some images for this graphics, colors and all that come. I have just downloaded some images from freepik.com. These kind of images I've downloaded. If you just search for 2D graphic colorful wallpaper in Google, you'll find these images, and I'll add them in the description also. I'll add all the assets and all in the description also, so that you can follow along. So I'll need to first import them, all these graphic images here. So these are all the images. Let's add one of them above the black solids. Let's just collapse them first. Just hide it for once and see where should you start the animation from. So the line animation should start from whenever this thing closes. Okay, I still think that the background curtain closing is a bit too fast, so I'll just open this and this using U and maybe drag it a little bit further away. So now, yeah, it's much better. Okay, let's collapse this. And we can start the animation from around here, or we can collapse this also. And this is our image. Let's unhide it, bring it like this, bring out the S scale, scale it properly, maybe position it a bit. We need as much color as we can from the image, so let's position it where it has more colors, like variation of colors around here. So yeah, the animation should start from here. So what we can do now, just use this pen tool. Let's increase the stroke size a bit. The color doesn't matter of the stroke for now, and let's look at the animation. Let's see how they do it. Okay, there's a big one coming, so let's do the big one first. And there are multiple ones coming, and the back, the coming and going from different points. Okay, well, let's do the big one first. The stroke size is still small for this one. I think we need a very big stroke size for this, for the first one at least. Let's delete the shape layer that we created just now and create something like this. So this shape layer, let's just place it above this graphic here. So this shape layer, what we're gonna do is we're gonna animate it first. Here, just click the trim parts and open up the trim parts. We're gonna start the end keyframe, bring it to 0. We can do the start keyframe also, and let's go a few frames forward and bring the end keyframe to 100. So this will animate it. It will bring the animation like this. After it comes, we can do this thing. We can animate the start keyframe to 100. But yeah, we don't want to animate it together, so we'll just offset it a bit because we want the end keyframes to finish coming up. Yeah, it will do this thing. This end keyframe animates the end point of the stroke, and the start keyframe animates the starting point of the stroke. So when you offset it like this, it does this kind of a smooth animation. Okay, now just select the keyframes, press F9, and you can see this animation happening. Now the last thing that we need to do is to checkmate this graphic to this animation. So just click here, toggle switches and modes. This is the trackmate. Pin it like this, and okay, just to clean up the composition, we can pre-compose this graphic and the stroke that we created just now as BG line 1. Similarly, we're gonna create some more lines in the background using the same process. We created one, and now we'll create some more using some different images and some different strokes. Okay, now I created some more lines and pre-composed them with different names 1 2 3 4 5 in the background, and different stroke size and a little bit of variation in the animations so that it doesn't look very redundant. Yeah, something like this. We can add some more lines, but yeah, it will just waste my time and it's making my PC lag a little bit, so I'll not add any more lines. Now if I just look at the reference here, somewhere around here everything becomes dark and these lines, they start to glow. These lines are these ones. So first let's go inside this and just pre-compose all of this as boy brain. Press OK, and same inside the skull composition, we can pre-compose everything as skull brain. One thing that will be better is if we delete this from here and delete this brain from here and add both of them here. Yeah, but it will not animate, right? So it will animate, so it will position it again. I'm doing this because if you see here, it glows separately from everything else, so I want to keep it above everything. Same with the skull brain. Yeah, this is fine. You can just position it properly, bring out the position for this and just position it here. Same with the boy, just position it here. Okay, now we can separate this glows from everything else. So around here, almost towards the end of the animation, everything becomes dark in the background. So what we can do is we can add a new black solid again. This time just renaming as overlay. So it will come here and we'll bring out the opacity by pressing T on the keyboard. I'll adjust the keyframes, make it a bit less, maybe 50%, 40% is fine I think, and we'll go a few frames forward. Okay, so it starts happening in dark around here. So around here we can just change the opacity back to 0, so everything is normal here, and then it becomes a bit dark like this. And since the brains are above the overlay, the brains are not affected. Also we can just easy use this also. Yeah, and when the overlay happens here, you'll see that the glow also starts to happen for the brain. So for the glow, I like to use an effect. You can use normal glow from here, but I like to use this deep glow. I'll just add this deep glow here onto the girl's brain. Maybe 0.25 is fine. 0.2 should be also good. Yeah, 0.2 seems good to me. And this is 0.2 exposure. I'll add a keyframe for the exposure and go a few frames forward and decrease it to 0. Let's press U and bring out the keyframes. Let's see the keyframes here. For the deep glow exposure, it increases from 0 to 0.2. You can press F9 to easy use this one as well. And now I can just copy this deep glow and add it to the boy's brain as well. with all of this, our animation is finally done. You can just, maybe I just missed a little bit of lines in the background. A couple of more lines would have been better, but yeah, this is it. And my PC is also lagging, so this should be good enough. Yeah, and the last thing, you'll see there's a zoom in here when this thing happens, right? So for that, what you can do is you can just select everything here, right click, pre-compose, change it to maybe final, press OK. Let's give it a little bit of time to render, and around here the cut happens. So I'll press Ctrl Shift D to make the cut, and here I'll just press S to bring out the scale and Shift P to bring out the position as well. I'll scale it up. The position looks fine to me. Maybe I scaled it up a bit too much. That much is not needed, I think. 165 should have been good. This much is fine. So you'll see this cut happening, and everything else happens after that. Okay, and the last thing that I forgot to mention is when you zoom in like this, and there is a little bit of quality loss that happens with the vector files. So in order to preserve the quality, you can just come here, since this one is zoomed in, and enable this thing, and it will bring out the quality. And this is it. Let's look at the animation now.